Hello and welcome to another What We're Watching Weekly Extra. This time talking about the CW second season finale for Arrow, and a little bit later talking about the extended trailer for the new CW show coming up, premiering this fall, called The Flash. These DC properties, DC Comics properties. Now, getting right to it. This was the uh, big conclusion the to the Deathstroke Slade Wilson um, epicness, as Corey Scott put it in the proper podcast in What We're Watching Weekly. The Dark Knight Rises ification of the season of Arrow, which I could see in watching this. This whole last little bit definitely seemed like that to me as well. I could see like the parallels. The destroyed city again. It's like it, you know it's like this with they're almost taking the Marvel Comics approach to this. It's like, oh wow, they're gonna start. I swear they're gonna take in season 3 or season 4, if they get a fourth season. They're gonna take an episode just devoted to the team that helps repair the city. Just because with how many times they destroy Starling or yeah Starling City. Sorry, I got confused. I'm like, wait a minute. Um, but overall, I enjoyed this season. Um, I felt it. I felt it was really good. Um, I don't necessarily. I don't like. This is this is one of the better CW shows out there. By far. And that's. I guess that's saying something. I mean, what am I comparing that to? I mean, that's comparing it to what the Vampire Diaries or the originals. So it's like either vampire movies or vampire shows or teenage dramas is basically what I'm comparing this to by saying that. But the action, well, okay, one of the things I really loved about this was the fight scene at the end with in the flashback, how it went to flashback and then to now. And I really think it worked well. I feel like it really did work. It worked really well, even better than what I thought it could have worked. Um, than in doing two separate fight scenes. Like playing the flashback first and then doing this one. Um, I I definitely enjoyed it. I definitely liked the like the transition, and boom, we're in the modern time, and then it had a comic book feel to me, which was good because it's like, I mean, you for one, you cannot take away that this was not a comic book TV show. This is not a TV show that's not based off of a comic book, because you do that, then you lose track, then you will lose interest very quickly in the TV show, because there are campy moments in there um as well. Um I thought for sure, and Corey thought this as well. Actually, when she sort of convinced me, I thought for that John Barrowman's character of Malcolm Merlin died. I had this in the back of my head. I'm like, ooh, I thought he died, but turns out he didn't. And actually, Corey nailed it. I will this Monday, if you join us, and I hope you do, at Spreecast.com, and it's just search for Glenn Rubenstein, for what we're watching weekly. But Glenn or Corey called it that Thea is going off with Captain Jack to go train and become speedy, to then in season 3 come back and be a villain to then turn into a hero probably. Um, but no, the action set pieces were a little bit better. Were actually better, just not a little bit, but actually more better than, which is not proper grammar. I know that, but whatever. Than the first season, and the beginning half of the second season, which is good. I like to see that they're improving and not just stagnating, or staying level sort of deal. But yes, So and also they promised throughout the episode the a first look trailer at the Flash, and it was like a quick, I think maybe 15-30 second trailer that I think nails the humor of the Flash of Barry Allen, and it's really cool. I did not link to that one. I linked to the extended trailer. I think, but also that the YouTube channel that it's on will also go to the uh the first look one where it's Stephen Amell, the actor who plays Oliver Queen in the Green Arrow, sitting there. You see him. You're like, okay, they get a stunt double or whatever. But then you eventually do realize, okay, it's him with the bow and arrow sitting there. And he goes to shoot it, and you see Barry Allen, the special effects, shoot by, and he runs in front of the arrow and catches it, and he just gets all excited, like yes, sort of deal. That part I found cool, and then Oliver going show off, and yet then they do the graphic with the Flash, and then they're like, okay, all right, try this hot shot. So we do like 3 arrows. Like, all right, this is gonna be pretty cool. This would be pretty like the little comedy part right there. All right, cool, you got me on that part. Then I saw the extended trailer, and this is what I'm gonna talk about now. The extended trailer, I want to say, and I did not pause it, because I'm gonna let someone else do this, but I want to say it might have even had a throwback to the '90s TV show Flash in the beginning. It could just be me overlooking things, but if it does, kudos, because that's also that. To jump back to Arrow real quick, that's one of the things I loved about Arrow and still love about Arrow is the nods that they give to comic book writers. Like you look at the character Diggle, even though his name's John, I think his brother's actually named Andy, who is a comic book writer who I think at the time was in DC Comics was writing for Arrow. I think the DC digital exclusive book Arrow, but was also writing. I know at IDW was writing on Doctor Who. I think Prisoners of Time, but was writing on other books too, and had a character was you get the character John Diggle from there. Is also now in the comic books as well with the character of Diggle. But there was another episode a while back ago this season where they said they gave the address of they're on the corner of Gale Street and Simone. Gail Simone, phenomenal writer. I've since my young journey now into diving into comics, dive and realizing how just some of these art writers are. It's like, oh my gosh, just fanboying out like, oh, they said Gail Simone sort of deal. And luckily I was sitting there in my bed or sitting in the chair watching this and like, wait, they're in fact rewinding, like, and not in front of people be like, okay, weirdo. And then me having to explain, okay, it's a comic book writer. I later did that when I was talking about it with friends, but it's like, okay, she's a comic book writer. She does, she's writing on Batgirl, and she's writing Pretty Deadly, and she's writing this and that. She's writing a whole bunch of comic books. She's a phenomenal writer. If you're not reading her books, definitely go check some of these out. Sort of deal. But anyways, that's where I feel like with the extended trailer, I think they might have been giving a little bit of a nudge to the old Flash, and this is where Flash is a really good property for me that they're diving into, because I might be mistaken, but I think Flash has one of the biggest rogues galleries out there. It's like Flash, Batman, Spider-Man. These three superheroes alone have some of the biggest rogues galleries alone. And yes, they all share with other superheroes, but that first appeared in their comic books. So it's like here he's got quite a bit, and they emphasize, I think this is going to be like the first 3 or 4, or maybe it's all from the pilot, the clips that they showed, but they showed off the suit in the extended trailer, in here. They showed some of the cast, some of his crew that are helping him out. Um, some notable actors. Is this going to be the same guy from Arrow? They even showed the same sequence from, which I think they'll re-show again. That was is essentially it was the excuse me, it was like the backdoor pilot that was in the episode of Arrow that created the Flash. Sort of deal. But you have Danielle Panabaker. I think it's Danielle Panabaker. Yeah, it's I believe it's either Danielle or Kay Panabaker. I forget which one it is exactly. And then you got Tom Cavanaugh as well in there, as his group of as in his core group. That's so far those are only two that I really recognize. Besides, the actor who plays Barry, who was also on Glee. Um, but yeah, I'm excited for this. It's gonna be coming out in the fall. They're not. It's gonna be. I believe it's gonna be two separate days. So it's like I think Arrow's gonna still be on Wednesdays, and then I think the Flash might be like Thursday or Tuesday or something like that. It's not gonna be. It's gonna be like what they do with the originals and Vampire Diaries. It's not gonna be like sit down for the Vampire Day. No, it's not gonna be like. No, it's Superhero Day. No, it's gonna be like, boom, sit down. Here you go for these shows. But I'm excited. Oh, the other thing though that I'm gonna mention is this is where I feel like where we're gonna get more superpowers introduced in here, or as DC calls them, the metas, the metahumans. Because they mentioned it in there, and I'm like, yes, I was so excited for this because it's almost merging Smallville with Arrow in a way, because you have this almost like this grittiness and realism of Arrow, and pseudo realism. I know not everything's real because no drug that makes you super strong, like the Mirakuru. I know there's not nothing like that. But with the fantasy, the superheroes, the powers, of the villains from the Flash that we're going to be getting here, sort of deal. So I'm excited. Tell me what your thoughts are if you are watching this. Down below in the comment section, and yeah, share this with your friends. Subscribe to my channel. Hope I'll be doing more of these very, very soon. And yeah, um, and what do you think I should be checking out next? Are you going to be checking out Flash? Are you excited about this? Could you care less? You're like, oh yay, CW show, whatever. Do you think this could actually help the CW? Well, we'll find out together. Bye.